right-wing protests in Salem. It started at the state capitol, then headed to the governor's mansion, and now it's back downtown after counter-protesters showed up.
We're checking in with our Liz Birch now. She's been there all day, live now with the very latest developments. Liz? Yeah, everything changing really quickly, especially right when the sun went down. That's when police declared an unlawful assembly after they say protesters and counter-protesters clashed. They say several people were arrested. Now, before that, there were protests here in Salem, and those protesters were calling to an end to shutdown restrictions in Oregon. And some armed, gathered in front of the state's Capitol building to demand the government reopen the state.
I'm asking you guys to stand up and continue to rise and take off the mask.
Protesters saying the time is right to end shutdowns. We're here to stand up for our First Amendment rights and to stand up against tyranny, basically. We want Oregon to open. We should open. Today's a good day. It's the beginning of a new year, and we want to start it off right. Protesters briefly blocked the road with a large American flag and then returned to the plaza. Impassioned speakers criticized the governor's handling of pandemic restrictions. They then began to march in the rain. We're going to march up to the governor's mansion. We have a bullhorn if anybody wants to say anything. Once at Mahoning Hall, the official residence of Governor Kate Brown, they were met by law enforcement in riot gear, although they remained peaceful. Speakers there said they needed more supporters to come out and protest to make sure their message is heard. So again, a lot has changed in the last couple of hours after this unlawful assembly was declared in Salem, and again, several people arrested. So anything new from police that we learn, we're going to post on our website. That's KOIN.com. Live in Salem tonight, Liz Birch.
All right, Shalom. First, I want to give all honest God's praise due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace to Akim that's doing his word in the four corners of earth. Okay, it's the year 2021, according to Esau's calendar. We know it's in the beginning of the spring. That's when the New Year's is. But, you know, according to in this, because we're in this captivity, this is considered to be first day of the year, you know. But as you just witnessed here, you see these Edomites, and there was a couple of Jakes, you know, on of this footage here. Never, you know. Anyway, I was about to say something, but anyway, these people are pretty much are upset. Okay, and it's gonna come a time where, you know, these Trump supporters, these Proud Boys, you know, these other militia groups, other Edomite supremacy groups. Now they out here marching now, but it's gonna come a time where they're not gonna be marching anymore. They're gonna be starting, you know, they're gonna mess around and start, you know, they're gonna be going at it. And you know, now even I said to myself, okay, how many times y'all gonna be keep marching? Because I said to myself, let me tell you something. When people are at a desperate situation, they're gonna do what they gotta do. You know, it is what it is. But you know, this is just proof that America's finished. You know, and I want to get some scriptures out right quick, because this is another sign of Esau Edom's kingdom that is pretty much a wrap. You know. Because the year 2020 was really to get you Jakes to come back to the word, you know. But yeah, only 144,000 1/3 is gonna listen. But back to this lesson. Let me go to Isaiah chapter 19 and 2. I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight everyone against his own brother, and everyone against his brethren. city against city and kingdom against kingdom, and kind, because you have a lot of, nationwide, you have a lot of businesses that are going out of business, because of this agenda that the top Edomites want to push, pretty much. And a lot of these Edomites, they can't really take it anymore. But at the same time, it's good to sit back and watch, because the Lord put the curses on them, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. But get another scripture right quick. Okay, the book of Mark, chapter 3, verses 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And the kingdom cannot stand. You got these protests nationwide and globally. Also, you have, even before the pandemic, another sign that this kingdom is falling is a couple of years back. These what's that? Civil War Confederate soldiers, they were bringing them down, and that's a sign of this kingdom is falling, of Esau, Edom. And also, I remember they pulled down one out in the UK. So that's a big, that's Yahweh Shem Yahushua tearing down those strongholds. Let me read the next one. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And I mean, these Edomites are really going at each other like never before, because I can never really remember a time in my life where these Edomites are really duking it out against each other. Because this didn't happen when I was a kid in the 80s. This didn't happen as growing up in the 90s. I ain't really seen this, not even in the 2000s. But I'm definitely seeing it now. Next one. And if a house can be divided, how can it stand? And if Satan rises up against Satan himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but had an end. Because there's going to be an end of this, and there will be an end, because we're at the end of this wicked kingdom. And also, I want to bring out, because these Edomites, catching the curses of how Jake was going through the curses. But I want to get 2nd Ezra chapter 15, and I want to go to 14 first. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth. Woe to the world and them that dwell in it. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. And as you watch this video, you got these militia people walking around with their guns, machine guns, And like I say, it's gonna come a time where they not gonna be talking and marching. It's gonna come a time that's gonna be done away with. And which is gonna lead to a civil war, because a civil war is coming to this place. A civil war, a race war, is coming. For there shall be assistant army men, and inviting one another, they shall not regard their kings neither princes. Okay, and that's talking about your people that's in the government, and these people are getting fed up with the government, because they can't feed their families. They can't take care of them, and they're getting frustrated. Reading on, and their choice of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and he shall not be able, because for their price of cities, for the pride of the city shall be troubled. The house shall be destroyed, and men shall be after. A man shall have no pity upon his brother, but he shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and of great tribulation. And because like I said, you're gonna have the people out here doing all these things here, including these 2/3 Jakes. They're gonna get involved doing this, but the 144,000 and 1/3 is not gonna get involved in that, But so far this year, it's gonna be quite interesting. Lord willing, this could be the year we get out of here. Lord willing. But with that, I want to say, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. I want to give honors, God's praises, due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, double honors to apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace to Akim that's doing his word on the four corners of earth, Shalom, and Abba, Kwam Bakiyam, Shalom.